Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, welcome back. This is Dan, the No Comfort Zone guy. Man, I put myself out there. Have you ever done that? Have you ever risked something and you risk so much, I'm really going to put myself out there? I don't know, singing if you're a terrible singer. I was watching one of the funniest YouTube videos, and you've got to check it out. There's an Asian guy that goes out in a public place like in New York, Grand Central Station, Times Square. He just goes out and he has the headphones on and he starts singing the song to whatever he's listening to extremely loud. And everybody watches him. It cracks me up. To me, that's really uncomfortable. And no, I didn't do that. You listen to my voice. I'm a terrible singer. I'm like Mr. Monotone. Although I can keep an audience going with my voice just talking, singing, I would kill you. It would be terrible. You don't want that. That's one of the things I want to do, though, in the next 20 years. I want to learn how to sing. Like cool songs, like Lionel Richie. Not even kidding. But I don't have the voice for that. But I really put myself out there on something, and I'll tell you what I did. I'm what you would call an amateur or amateur speaker. And what I mean by that is this. I don't make my living speaking. Obviously, when I screw up like this all the time, this is such a hilarious thing because I'm on this podcast and I talk about I used to be a paid speaker, but I mumble so much and I stutter and stammer. And I'm not going to edit it. You know why? Because this is real, relevant, and raw, coming at you from the No Comfort Zone. But what I'm doing is, I used to focus a lot on sales process training and management and leadership training. And I used to keep an audience for 2.5 days. I even kept an audience for 2 months, believe it or not. That's another story. But the curriculum I take is I'll take a training manual from whatever organization is out there. Let's say you have a sales organization, or it's mostly sales, or you have a management process or a management. I take that, your training manual, and I add my blueprint to it, and I just make it better. That's what I do. So what I recently did was this. On social media, there's a high level speaker. Really high level. I'll even tell you his name. He goes by the tag Big Money Speaker. I forgot his first name. Gary, I think? I don't know. Anyway, I wish I remembered his first name, but Big Money Speaker. I watched him 10 years ago. He's a pretty good speaker. He does very well. He used to speak to college audiences and stuff. And he's one of the guys that got me back into speaking after the coma and all that other stuff. But he said he's looking for speakers, and I hit him up on an open social media platform, and he said, I'm looking for speakers. Who do you recommend? And I put my name out there, Dan Brzezowski. And afterwards, I let it go, and I was like, in the middle of the night, why did I do that? Because I'm not ready to speak to 20,000 people. My content is bulletproof. My content works for adversity. It works for success. It's basically every personal development speaker, personal growth coach that I've ever been introduced to in my life that I've read. It's all of that information not applied, experienced really bad results in my life. Then I decide to apply most of it, and then all of a sudden I become successful. Imagine that. Not just from one person I followed, but from really all of them. So I don't know, is that copyright infringement or is that scientific research? I would like to call it scientific research. But I'll give all the people credit where credit's due. The Grant Cardones, Tony Robbins, this is embarrassing. I'm going to run really short, really quick. Way more than that. Napoleon Hill. Geez. There's so many more. But anyway, I'm driving and I'm doing my podcast and I'm talking to you about putting yourself out there. When's the last time you put yourself out there? You put yourself out there and you thought to yourself, did I just totally embarrass myself or humiliate myself? Here's the cool part. I thought 20,000 people thought to themselves, who's this Dan Brzezowski? Nobody's even looking. Nobody even cares. But the fact is that in my own head, I felt that I put myself out there and I risked everything by doing it. And I'm wondering, who did I become? I can do this podcast and talk into my phone. I can deal with a coaching call. I can speak to a room of 300 people easily. I could talk about my passions and where I'm going in my life and how I can get people passionate. But you, the listener right now, what are you doing? That's the thing. This podcast is supposed to motivate you and inspire you to get up and to get out and go after the relationship, go after all those things. That's what it's for. That's really why I'm doing this, because I want somebody to say, you know what? I listen to your podcast. You're an idiot. You talked for 170 podcasts about getting out of your comfort zone and living on purpose. And on the 165th episode, I finally got out of my comfort zone and I took a chance on something. I took a chance. I took a risk. And you know what? I didn't die. I didn't fail. I wasn't humiliated. And then I did it again. And then I did it again. And then I realized this. I have not been living my life until I decided to get out of my comfort zone and live on purpose. I never realized that life could be this magical and this fun and this intense and this comical and this, for all of the great emotions that you could think of. And also life can be really sad wherever you focus. See, I go to certain parts too that I'm not always happy and intense all the time. There's some bad stuff going on in the world. There's some people that are really hurting, who need medical attention, who need mental health coaching, who need therapy. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm a guy who experienced enough bad stuff in his life to start pushing the envelope to realize there's got to be more, man. And everything that I do today, I do with intention. It's on purpose. I don't take every minute and moment for granted like I used to. I don't celebrate my successes with drinking a few beers and hanging out with the guys. It's not what I want to do. I want to help more people experience this. And it is something to be experienced, because when you do experience it, it's a win every single day, even when you think you don't, because it was intentional. So what I want you to do is I want you to risk a little bit more. I want you to make today. I have a friend growing up. This is where I make the podcast rated R. I don't want to, so I'm not going to. But a buddy of mine, I was going through such a hard time. He's so upset at me. And if you're still listening, Albert, it's one of the funniest things you've ever told me. I know that you've been listening to the podcast for a while and you catch me every now and again. Dearest childhood friend I grew up with. He's like a brother to me. We don't talk nearly enough. And I'm probably going to reach out to him after this. But I'll tell you what. He had told me one time, and it was awesome. You know what you need to do, man? You need to make today your biatch. Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? I hope not. And I love that, where you can say that out loud. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. That's really terrible. I don't condone, but it's funny. I don't know where this podcast is going now. We're way off. We're way off in a different stratosphere now. But I hope you can look at your life and realize that you have to own it. You have to seize the moment. You have to go for it every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. You need to do it because you have the opportunity to change your reality. But more importantly, I'll say it again, and I say it almost every podcast, you can change the reality for the people around you. How exciting is that? Hit me up, Dan@thenocomfortzone.com or at NoComfortZone1, I think is what it is, Twitter and Instagram. I had some people on Twitter not follow me anymore because all I've been putting up is the podcast. Relax yourself. I'll put up some memes and I'll do some other stuff. I'll do some live stuff. I'm just not there yet. I'm not ready for that. I got other stuff that I'm trying to finish. By putting myself out there, what I hope you do today is I hope you do put yourself out there, get out of your comfort zone and start living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.